Usually when we look at skeletal muscle, like the picture that I showed you before of the muscularis externa, it's usually beautiful, like this straight line, very nice looking, one plane. Tongue is not like that. What is the strongest muscle in your body?
Tongue.
Your tongue, right? The cool way that it does that, it's massively loaded with skeletal muscle in almost every single plane, which is pretty sweet. And really any plane you can imagine, right? So not just this happening, just imagine shit happening everywhere. So that's why it's so crazy.
So they bind to mechanoreceptors and
Yes.
what?
And then you basically are able to taste it.
Oh.
Yeah. Because you remember we talked about taste buds or taste pores. You need to get stuff very fine in order to sink in there, because you have water and you have all this crazy stuff, and that's how you end up tasting them. And you actually covered gustation on last exam. It was like the last slide of special senses, and he showed you all 5, like how you taste it. That's all happening in the dorsal surface of the tongue. Okay. 1522. When we think of the pharynx, what did I say about it? Somebody. It's the common pathway to what?
Air.
Cool?
To what?
Go ahead.
Air and liquid.
It's a common pathway to air and food. Food goes to the pharynx. Will it ever go to the larynx?
Because down the wrong line. Yeah.
Okay, good. If it goes wrong, if it goes in the wrong pipe, okay. And who controls what? The epiglottis is very big. If it zips through the esophagus, what do we call that process? Yeah, sure. Yeah, perfect. Deglutition, which we said before. And again, these words, I mean, like, you know what I mean. You'll never say swallowing again, because that word is so much cooler. So know it. And the tongue pushes the bolus, 1522, I'm just going to read number 1, 2, 3. Tongue pushes the bolus against the soft palate and back of the mouth. And the hard palate is up, the soft is back. And the cool thing about the soft is literally it's soft. The fact that it's soft is when you push things into it, it's almost like a, I don't know. I don't want you to think of it as a, well, something that's very soft, but not too soft. I was thinking of a sponge, but that's too soft. Just something that's not too hard. And what you can do is, as your tongue pushes on it, right? You push stuff there, and you push stuff there, it kind of bends like this. Stuff gets smushed in much easier than if you just did it straight. You know, if you did it straight, stuff would get out of the way. Do it this way with your tongue. You think of a large surface area that your tongue has, smushes it like this, and it breaks apart crazy, and that's why you could taste everything in the dorsal surface of your tongue. And obviously the hard palate, all you're really doing with the hard palate is big things, breaking them, humongous, like a grape. You know, breaking the small, and then it gets to the soft, and then you're really smushing it apart. Cool? And obviously, if you fail to do this at a certain point, you'll be okay, unless it's like a bone. Again, back to my bone thing. There's so much stuff there. There's your body, your stomach is so acidic, it'll break down a lot of stuff. And this is just a stupid fact. My brother's a deputy sheriff. A lot of guys, what they do is they have heroin, having in small plastic bags, and cop comes in. You're not gonna, you know, can't stick this much heroin in your anus. So what do? You swallow it, and then guess what happens afterwards? In a few hours, No, you're not gonna. It's not going to go through your anus. It's going to sit in your stomach. And guess what's gonna happen in your stomach? You have a lot of gastric juices. It's just freaking acid. Like, just if I wish I worked with acid and I seen its effect. I wish I could bring some acid and pour it on something and see how crazy it is. What happens is it actually eats up this bag. It eats up through it, and you just have like 3 stones. Or what am I saying? 3 stones? We're talking about like 8, 10 stones in your stomach. And in hours, you see this person like this, and they got white coming out of their mouth. Honestly, yeah, no joke. And he tells me about it all day long. And that's how you know.
Overdose?
It's not. I mean, yeah, sure, it's overdose. But before I said to you overdose, I said they had it in a bag. That's crazy as hell. Like a bag. Your stomach pierces through a bag. So that's what I mean. Your stomach is such a monster. It will pierce through so much stuff. And really, the only things that I can't do is just retarded stuff that I eat. So as long as you're not like me, I think you guys will be okay. But I mean, you understand, like a lot of times I'm sure you've eaten something, you're like, oh my god, I didn't chew it or something. Well, why was it okay? Except like corn. Corn is a different story. Because the shell on it is crazy. But why were you okay? Because your stomach is so acidic. You know, you have a pH of 2. And it just all day just gobbles up anything it sees, which is pretty sweet. Cool? So that's my little story about that, so don't do that.
I'm sorry, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Why do they say not to swallow gum? They say that it stays in your stomach for 15 years or something.
I get so scared when I do it.
No, I don't know if that's actually true. And it just doesn't make sense to me. When they say something like stays in your stomach for 15 years, they're not saying like the whole piece. Because what's going to happen is a lot of people chew a lot of gum, right? Think of you chewing 2 of those things. It's going to be like this big. It takes like, I don't know if it's that long. And I've read in other places it may take 5 years. Well, you're thinking about this big piece that's just hanging on the side by itself. It's not going to be like in the middle. It's going to be hanging on the side somewhere, right? And a lot of times what happens is it's very possible that it could be stuck to something else and going down. If you just had it by itself, it would take that long. Because what you're doing is you're eating out of it, kind of thing. You're not just, when they say it's 15 years, it's not like, I guess, it's not like you just get rid of it in the first few years. I mean, it's just a long process. You just keep eating, keep eating, keep eating, keep eating. But eventually it will go away. But like the majority of the time, I mean, who doesn't eat for 15 years? You're not just gonna have your stomach just completely, you know, it's just stupid. Yeah, it's goofy stuff. It's gonna get bound to something else and whatever. But again, they always come out with these goofy things. I mean, you have so much shit in your stomach. I think gum is gonna be okay. You know what I mean? You think of all this crazy stuff you've eaten. If you could digest that, I don't think gum is gonna be a big issue. But yeah, I've heard that and I'm like, who cares? I love chewing. I love swallowing gum. It's like the best thing ever. But just don't do it every day. Do it once a month for fun.
Once a month.
Not every day. Just do it for fun. Again, deglutition is swallowing. The upper esophageal sphincter relaxes or the epiglottis closes. Right? Sphincter relaxes while the what closes?
Epiglottis.
Sweet. It's very important. A lot of people and myself, we don't care too much of the upper sphincter because it just happens. The only reason people don't care about things is because they just function well. Why do we care about the cardiac sphincter? GERD. You know, when stuff goes wrong, we really want to pay attention to it. And GERD is just so common with everybody. I mean, not everybody. It's just very common these days. So that's why we don't care about it. But there is an upper sphincter, even above the cardiac sphincter. This is there. Food moves downwards in the esophagus, propelled by Paracelsus. Okay. There's my fun.